Okay. Hey, it's Thea Daniels with R.A.W.Vlogcast, where we talk with people who are real, authentic, and willing to share their passion. Tonight, up at the Elephant, San Geronimo came to our neck of the woods and rocked the roof off. There's no roof out there, but if there was a roof, they'd have rocked it up.
It would have gone away.
Darren Nelson, Jeremy D'Antonio.
There you go.
Love it.
Nice. Antonio.
So Italian.
Yes. Okay, guys. Who wants to start out? What inspired you? Your style, your soulful style of music. It's rock. It's southern. It's rich. What inspired you? We'll start with you.
I've been into music since I was in the womb, I think. So, my dad was into big band. My mom was in the country. I don't know if that was an inspiration, but when I got going into listening to music, I had older siblings that turned me on to everything.
Nice.
But I wanted a guitar since I was very, very, very little. So when I got one, then everything opened up.
How'd you get that first guitar?
My dad got me my first guitar. My mom got me an amp. They weren't together, so they teamed up, and that was a really shitty guitar.
Really shitty guitar. But you made it sound good.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
But then I got a Les Paul, and that one I had to convince my mom that I was good for it. I could pay for it, and that guitar changed everything.
So it was in the guitar. You wanted the guitar.
Yeah, got the
when
guitar.
You got the guitar that spoke to you.
Yeah, and then my best friends growing up, we all played music together, so we just kept going.
Sounds like some good friends.
Good friends, great friends.
Tell us a little bit about
Music
your
for me?
wee little days.
You know, the first time I remember really being into music, I was at my grandmom's house, and she used to sing in the Navy band, and she had a piano there, and I sat down, and I remember picking out "Stand By Me" because I was super into, I was into that song at that point, and it was in Philadelphia where there was just like a real soul influence of, there's quite a thing, the Delphonics and all these different bands that came out of Philly, but there's a feel there. But yeah, that was the first time I remember. And then
Hey, Grandma.
yeah. So I picked that out, and then kind of didn't think too much of it. But anytime I was at a piano, I was really like, "Oh, this is great." Then my little brother.
You play the piano then too.
I don't. No, I could sit down and write some stuff on it, but I couldn't sit down and. I mean, I could, but I wouldn't be up there tonight with us doing it. But yeah, and then my brother got a guitar for Christmas one year. I think I was like 10 or something. He was 4, and he got a little tiny one, and then I just I picked it up and just I was like, well, this is mine now, I took it.
Mine now.
So then I got an electric guitar, and I was super into U2 was just coming out then, and there was all the old U2, which I really loved that stuff. So I was into learning that on the electric guitar.
The spacey
you could be a pretty simple player with some interesting effects, and it went a long way. So that's where I came from, I guess.
So you're East Coast.
My family is. I was born in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and then grew up mostly in Colorado. But I spent all my summers in Philadelphia and lived there for a while as well. But
I think I was talking with Danny, your drummer. You guys played in Colorado together.
Yeah. I've been playing with the drummer for almost 20 years now, probably. We started in a band in Denver, and I saw him playing in a jazz gig actually, and then I saw him play a different gig where he was playing rock music, and he was great. And then we kind of hit it off. We were both into bicycles. We both worked at bike shops, and so then we bonded over bike shops and bikes, and then music, and then I was like, all right, I gotta get this guy in the band. And then we just, we're like brothers. We fight like brothers. We love each other like brothers. And, it's good.
Okay, how did this friendship get started?
This one?
This one. And beginnings of San Geronimo.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the first time I saw Jeremy perform. We were at a festival, and he was on stage when we showed up, and they were great. And I think that was like it. We just kind of met one another, and I was like, "Yeah, this guy is great."
Yeah, not the same.
And then I think we talked, and
Yeah.
I think I reached out to Jeremy and I was like, "Hey man, we got a gig," because we were in two different bands. And I said, he said he was from San Francisco, because we're, that's just what you say.
Right,
when you're
right.
from
Yeah.
anywhere
North
around
of San
Yeah.
Francisco.
And it was a festival, so I could have been from anywhere too. So I texted him or emailed and I said, "Hey man, we're playing in San Francisco on this date." And he's like, "Oh, that's cool, man. I'm in Marin." And I was like, "Well, shit, I'm in Marin."
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm like, "Where?" And he's like, "Woodacre." And I was like, I live in Woodacre. I'm like,
Wait
"Where?"
a minute.
Yeah.
And then he told me where he lived, and we were like,
We were like
three
literally
houses.
3 houses away from each other. Never knew it. We're both recluses and never left our houses, I guess. But these were back in the woods in like a redwood
Yeah.
grove, so
Redwood
we were like,
forest.
there's no way this dude knows where I
Yeah.
live. I live in the depths of
Yeah, you
darkness.
just keep
Oh,
it
that's
simple when
yeah.
you say where you're from.
Yeah.
So anyway, then I was literally walking distance to his house, and he had a really badass recording studio, and I had a bunch of songs that I wanted to record.
Because we used my band to record his
Yeah,
songs.
he was like, "Hey, I got the best drummer for you."
Yeah.
All right. And he's like, "Oh, I got this guy in pedal steel." So before long, I was just playing my songs with his band in his studio.
And then at that point, I was just tired of being a band leader, and so I was like, "This is great.
help me out."
I'm gonna sucker this dude into being in the band, and then make him deal with all the bullshit for a while." And it worked. Yeah. So he split the bullshit duties with me.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Split the bullshit.
Split the bullshit.
Oh,
I mean,
like that.
amongst the other things too, like
No, it's
fronting
great.
a band all night by yourself. 3 hours of music.
And
It's really nice.
It's like being married to a bunch of like 5
Bunch of
people.
men.
Yeah, a bunch of men. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
ridiculous,
What a
right?
dream.
Yeah.
This is rock and roll, married to a bunch of
responsibility
men.
number one.
Yay.
Yeah.
And so you guys have been together for
I
10?
don't even know. Yeah.
Maybe not 8.
With Darren in the band, maybe like 8 years. And
Yeah,
then,
and-
then
and-
Dave, the pedal steel player, Dan and I have been playing for
Longer.
probably 12 or 15, and then Dan and I have been playing for almost 20. Yeah, and then Kevin, I guess we saw him play with Chuck Prophet's band, and they were quite good. And so we were like, let's get this guy
Let's
on board.
bring
yeah.
all the friends in.
Yeah. So.
And now you guys, and you came up here.
So nice.
Yeah,
huh?
it's-
Yeah, I've come down
Straight up
to
here.
Perry's and Maxway. It's a long drive.
It's a long drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be
But
back
this is
down
nice
there.
to come up here and to see completely different faces,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
it's a well received. It
This
seemed
place
like it was
is
well received.
really nice.
Yeah, people are nice.
Nice
up
sound
here.
system.
We're at the Elephant in the Room for those of you listening. Yeah, this place is really awesome.
Casey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
guy.
certain spots where the music seems to be an important thing, and it seems like this is one of the spots. So that's cool.
Northern California is so rich with great music.
It is.
And I'm so
It
glad
is.
you guys are coming up here because, we need to hear the bands
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and bring music back alive after COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah, indeed.
yeah. COVID was.
So you guys write
Killer.
together, play a few of your favorite covers together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I love how you guys merged and kind of just gelled, and it seemed like, okay, this is kind of flowing into this groove, and you picked it up. And
It's like that was a manager.
Yeah, that was a tour manager.
Tour manager.
oh, man, I was going to say your fan
They'll
club
smash
tour
a bottle
manager's
over
good.
some
Well, hey, is there a fun story about you guys being out? Pull out a story on stage. Crazy story, fun story, travel story.
PG.
Yeah, it can be a little,
I know,
little rough on
I
the
don't
edges.
even know how Yeah, I would. I'll tell you a funny story about today.
Okay. Sounds good. It's my
I'm just
birthday.
kidding.
It's gonna be a good one.
No, I went to the beach and I had like kids vomiting in the car. Like it was just like a
You had your kids.
I had kids. I have kids. Kids are.
Do they play?
You want a funny story?
Yes,
I have kids.
I have kids. 2 teenage boys.
I'm just kidding. Anyhow, there's, I don't know, a funny story. There's Dan, the drummer, has. He would be the one to tell the story right now.
Yeah, you know
Man,
what?
Dan, come
Yeah,
on.
story time. I told him to come, but he's a drummer.
Yeah.
I know those drummers, like, they're in the back of the stage for a reason. That's what they said. We're in the back. Okay. What is it? Are the kids starting to play music?
Yeah, the kids are into music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, keeping the
Yeah.
music going on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, how can we follow you guys?
San Geronimo Band.
.com
All right.
is one. Probably Facebook is probably the more used platform that we advertise with, and
Okay.
then
And so we
we're
can
on
see your
Instagram
videos
as well.
on there and Instagram.
yeah, videos.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Those videos
YouTube.
around.
There's some videos. We did some one mic recordings with John Kunaberti, who's a pretty well renowned, mastering and tracking engineer, and he did.
Check that out.
Yeah.
That's the One Mic series.
One mic series?
by John
Yeah.
Okay.
Kunaberti.
John Kunaberti.
He has a YouTube channel, and there's some nice
How do you
recordings.
spell that last name?
CUNIBER.
TTI or TI. Anyway, you'll find it.
The One
You'll
Mic
find
series.
it.
Okay.
One Mic series. We did a really, I think, beautiful version of a Bob Dylan song. And it's called the One Mic series because he puts one microphone in the room and the band sets up all around it.
You capture.
And
Kind of like what we got going here.
yeah,
huh?
exactly.
And he captures the band in stereo because it's a stereo.
It sounds like a multi-track recording,
Yeah.
but with just one microphone. So the band has to listen really well.
You have to be in your zone, very quiet and swell. It's very true.
We'd like to think we did a nice job, but
Well, at least the people we were working with did.
yeah, I think they did.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys did a terrific job out there. I'm looking forward to listening to that.
Thank you.
So do I get to post this all over social media and celebrate you guys?
Yeah, let me just make sure I live there. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
And yes.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
that's good.
Darren looks a little cooler than me today. Well, most days.
Yeah,
but-
you guys look great.
All right, Darren.
Yeah.
No,
All
I'm
right,
good.
thank you guys so much for giving me this birthday
Yeah,
gift.
thank you.
And coming up and playing, and we'll see you up here again.
I hope so.
Okay.
And thanks for having us.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
thanks for
you
having
bet.
us.
That's a wrap. Cheers, cheers. Bye.